So hey, what's up guys? Today I want to share with you a couple JavaScript array functionalities that we need the most in our day-to-day tasks. Even if your project not including JavaScript, but you might use it as a productivity tool. Even your browser console might be used as well. So I'll start up with very basic examples, then I'll wrap it up in a bit real example. Now open up your browser and follow along. It doesn't matter which browser. In my case, I'm using Chrome. And believe it or not, I found this site called blank.org, which is literally blank, as you can see. I'll use it just for demo. Now we need to open our developer console. Can go to right-click Inspect, then focus on the click on console, or can use the shortcut which is Ctrl Shift J or Command Shift J if you are on Mac. So let's start with defining a list of numbers. Let's say numbers equals uh, 2, I'm sorry, 2, 4, 5, 7, 10, whatever numbers you like. And let's say we want to extract the even numbers from this list. So you might use a for loop or something like that, but a very handy function will be the filter function, which is built in the array API. So numbers, see how to use it, dot filter. Here we have two options to complete this function. We might use the lambda expression style, which I prefer, and all the major browsers support it, and it's very simple. Let's say modulo 2 equal 0, and even before I'm hitting enter, the Chrome console is returning the result. Or you might use a regular function style like this, say x, let's return. It's basically the same. You choose, I see a winner here, and you might choose whatever you like. It's important to note that the filter function will always return an array, even if the result is a single uh, element. It will be wrapped in an array. So numbers dot filter cx2. So one element will be truthy in this case. So even this one is wrapped in array. If we return true in all cases, we will have the original list, and if we put false, we'll have none. So the filter function is returning an array, and it's not returning null, and it will never return a single element without wrapping it in an array. In many scenarios, you might need to extract just one element. Let's say you have a user list and you have an ID, let's say 10, and you want to extract this exact user from this list. In this scenario, you might use the find function. Find function basically from parameter perspective, take the same parameter as filter, which is a predicate, but it will return null or a single object. So I guess we had 5. Yes, we had. Or if we put, let's say 50, we'll have none. If more than one element complies with the same condition that you are putting in the find function, then the find function will return just the first one that complies with this condition. And now my favorite function, the map. Whenever you want to reshape an array, let's use our numbers list and map it to another array of objects with an ID and name and age property. ID. Let's use X itself. Name. Let's say test plus X and age. Let's use X plus 20. This will give me an error because the lambda expression will have an ambiguity with the regular expression because we are using curly brackets. So I'll wrap it with parentheses and we'll have the result. So we just used a couple of integers and we end up with an array of objects. So now let's move on to the reduce function that you want to use whenever you need some aggregations like sum or whatever formula you need. So let's apply it on numbers list to get the sum. So numbers.reduce and reduce will need a callback function with two parameters. The first one is the accumulator and the second is the element itself. So let's put accumulator plus X. And basically the accumulator is like a bag that you put in whatever value you had in the last iteration. So let's say because we are dealing with numbers, so we'll basically starting with 0. So in the first iteration the accumulator will be 0 plus the first number in the list, which is 2. So 0 plus 2, it's 2. So the result of the first iteration is 2. So in the next iteration, because the reduce function will be like looping the numbers list, so we'll have 2 in the second iteration as the accumulator plus the second number, which is 4. So we have 6 and so on. And you might pass an initial value to start your accumulation. So by default here it's 0. You see 28, it's not changing, but you might put, let's put 10. So we have 38. Actually, I can show you the process in details by introducing the log function. So let's change the reduce a bit. Don't need this one. So let's return the value here. And let's log it. I hate that cheap code. Console. I can spell. So let's print the accumulator and X and the sum. No, just X. So what we have here, so the accumulator is 2, the x is 4, the result is 6. Then the accumulator is 6, which is this result here, plus the second number we have 11, and so on. So we have 28. If we put the 0, we'll have an additional iteration. So basically it starts with 0, then the first number. So the result is 0 plus 2. So we have 2. Then we'll complete as first version of this code. And now let's use what we've learned so far in a bit realistic example. So open up this website called Mocaro. I'm not sure if I spell it right. It's basically provide the realistic data as shown here. The default sample that we have has those fields. So let's change it a bit by removing this one and use here a country code field and change the type here. Search for country code, and we need let's put 100 rows, and we need it as JSON. Array include null. We don't need null, and click download. And now we have our list of users where each and every one has a country code field, and our task is to provide the country name for each and every one of those users. To get the countries list, just put countries list JSON in Google and click the first link. And here we have it. Now select it all by hitting Ctrl A and then copy it, Ctrl C, and go back to our console here. Let's clear it by hitting Ctrl L and define countries equals this list. So we have countries. Now copy the users list and define here users equals, paste it, and now we have users and countries. Now to get the country name for a user, let's select the first one here. Country code is VN. We need the country name. So we can use the filter or the find function to get the country name. So let's try it out. So for country name equals countries dot find x, where x dot the field name is code. Okay, so x dot code equals vn. So let's print it, country name. It's the whole object. So should name it country, then extract the name or country dot name. So country name is Vietnam. Let's try another one. Select this user PG. Okay, let's try it. So the same. Let's print it right away. BG, it's Bulgaria. So now let's use the map function to add the country name for the whole list of users. For new users equals users.map x. Let's reshape our list of users and let's put in for country equals countries dot find x. We cannot use x because we already used it, so c for country, c dot code equals x dot country code. Let's check if country exists because our list might be missing some country codes. So if we have country, let's change x by adding a new country name field. So it will be country dot name, and let's return x. Okay, let's see our result. Open up this list, and here we have a GP for Japan. Let's try another one, PL for Poland, and so on. For emails equals users dot filter x, where x dot country code equals PL. Then introduce it accumulator and x accumulator plus x. We need our comma, and let's start it with an empty string. Let's try it out. We missed the email port, so x dot emails. Here we have it. We have a comma here. We can chop it out by substring 2.